Hi, this is the third part of this fuel flow indicator. So I have connected this indicator to an AC power source of 100 volt RMS. So I will turn on the power supply. And you can see that we have something different than last time when I applied only a DC voltage. So this time the digital display works. But we have a fail message at startup. Okay, so I have connected this instrument to a function generator with two sine signals. I can change the phase of the second signal here using this phase command here. For the moment the outputs are off. The power supply also, so I will activate the power supply first. Okay, and let's turn on the outputs. Okay, but we have nothing, don't have any phase shift, so maybe it's normal, so we have a second chance. So I will change the phase, I will show you the same time, I will make a zoom out here. I will change the phase of the second channel, not this one, the second one. Okay, we have nothing. So maybe we need to activate one input. Because if you have seen my last video, you have noticed that we have different inputs. You have this one and this one with optocouplers. So for example, we can start to activate this one. We just need to apply a short circuit between these two lines. Line C here is common with the power supply input here. So first I will make a measurement of the voltage in order to avoid the damage on this instrument. So I have connected a wire to this terminal here, R, and I will measure the RMS voltage between R and C. So I will turn on the power supply first. So I will show you the DMM here. Okay. So this is the terminal C. I still have a switch here. The switch is closed. And I will test with or between, so this is R and C should be this terminal. So you have a 3 volt, sorry we cannot see. I will change my hand here. Okay, so we have a 3 volt RMS, so effectively it's a low voltage. And the other one should be okay. So there is no risk for the optocoupler. So I will turn off again the power supply. And now I will connect this wire to this one. I have a male socket here. Okay, so I will turn on the power supply again. I will place the switch to off position first. Okay, so we still have the failure. And let's see what's happened if I activate this switch. We have something, this may be a test feature. As you can see, all the dots are displayed in this case. So it is maybe a test in order to see if the display is functional. And let's try to start the instrument with this configuration. Okay. That seems to be a test. So maybe we can test if we have something first at these outputs here, 1 and 2. They are accessible just on this connector, so this will be easy to measure. So I need to find a ground. I will use the same ground than the function generator. So this is this one here. You can see that we have some burst signal. So we have some communication stuff on this line. So let's see what's happened with the synchronization. Okay, so we can see that we have something. So this looks like, at least from the hardware view, something which looks like the ARINC signal. So let's see the other. It will be more difficult. I don't want to provide a short circuit. So the other one has the same thing, but with opposite polarity. It starts with 3 negative pulses and 2 positive. And this one is reverse. And maybe the frequency of the burst, here we can measure. So we have the time base of 50 milliseconds per division, so we have something like 130 milliseconds between successive transmits. We can see also the effect of this switch, which is here. There is something strange. Home. Microprocessor. I don't know if it is not a self-test. This maybe indicates the error. So this is maybe a problem of a checksum of the ROM. I don't know, on the microprocessor, but I'm not sure. On the front panel, nothing is written. This corresponds to that, so we can only use a tool in order to activate this switch with a screwdriver. So it is not something which is expected to be used in normal mode. So this is maybe a self-test. So during the self-test, the needle is set to a given position. So it seems there is a problem in the digital board. I will try to remove this board and see if I can find something. I didn't find any visual problem on the CPU board, so this is not obvious. It is maybe a checksum problem on the EEPROM or something like that. I don't know exactly, so I cannot go further. But what we can do is maybe to check this burst signal. So I have applied the function generator here. It is still connected. So I will activate the output, channel 1 and channel 2. So first we can check if we have the square wave and the output of both comparators here on these lines. And then we will check the signal at this terminal here. So this should work because it doesn't depend on the firmware. So one signal but I don't have access to the pump, they are metal can, but I will get access to the flip-flop, so it's pin number 3 of both flip-flops. So I will set the function generator in order to have, for example, 90 degrees phase shift. Okay. So let's see on the oscilloscope. Okay, so you can see that we have effectively 90 degrees phase shift between the two square signals. So now we can check the burst signal, which should be present at this signal output, pin number 13 of the second one, which should be this one, I think, or I don't remember the first one. So I will check, it is one of them, pin 13. Okay. And actually the firmware should work because we have the sequence of measurement. Okay, so we can check the clock frequency of this thing. So I will activate the measurement mode, measure three frequency, okay. I will remove channel 2. And because the frequency is not okay, I cannot measure because there is also dead times. Okay, I will do a single and I will apply the cursor. Okay, so the frequency is 205 kilohertz or something like that. Kilohertz, so we have a frequency of 400 hertz. So it is possible to calculate the resolution of this thing. It is not very high, because anyway we don't need more than 8 bits, because the result comes from the DAC, which is the 8-bit DAC, and if you divide 200 kilohertz divided by 400 hertz, it's something like 400 counts. And we have a phase shift of 90 degrees, so normally this should, I don't know the limit, maybe it's 180 degrees, so maybe the resolution in terms of timer is something like 1000 counts, which is more than enough. So I don't know what is wrong with this device, because the firmware should run, because actually for each cycle the firmware should apply here a reset on this line. We can check. I don't know the pinout of this thing. I have to check. So the reset of U4. So the reset is this one here. So it's pin number 4. Okay, so you can see that we have an activation. So normally this should work. So I don't know what we can do after that. I think that the instrument anyway doesn't work. And it is difficult because there is a microprocessor on it, so it is difficult to repair. I don't know if it is a problem with firmware or something like that. And as I don't have any documentation on this, so I don't know exactly the possible reasons of this error message. So after it is possible to disassemble the code and to see exactly what could be the reason, but it's a long work. So this was the teardown and some test, which was not successful, but I think I did the best I could do with this instrument. It is difficult to go further. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.